Hello everybody, I'm enjoying getting with my father for another movie review. Say hi, Dad.
Hi.
In today's video, well, since the recent passing of Roger Corman, well, I don't have time to do like a full tribute video about all his films, but I figured let's pick like his well-known like B-movie, that is The Wasp Woman from 1959. What did you think of The Wasp when we were watching it together?
Definitely a B movie.
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely. It's your generic, stereotypical B film, especially for the 50s at that time. And this might have actually been the first like film I ever heard of like Roger Corman. The first time I knew who Roger Corman was because of James Rolfe's Monster Madness. He did a video about this on one of his Monster Madness videos. I'm thinking to myself how it's interesting how for a guy who was a B movie director, but yet he had a like reputation. Like he got like Coppola, Cameron, Lucas, like guys who were nobodies as film directors became somebody.
Yeah, well, he gave them the opportunity to do their work for him, and he was able to spot the talent that they had.
Right. It's amazing how come like this guy was never like a big shot as a director. I guess maybe he liked making B movies. I guess, but who knows?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you know this, he turned down Easy Rider, Roger Corman.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, and who knows? That could have been his breakout as a being more than just a B movie director, Roger Corman.
Yeah, but he made some very high quality movies though.
Right.
For example, the Edgar Allan Poe series.
Yeah, right. With Karloff, Laurie, and an unknown Nicholson at that time.
Right.
Yeah, like the Terror. Actually, no, I didn't do the Terror.
No, but I'm referring to the Mask of the Red Death.
Right, The Raven.
The Raven, and the Pit and the Pendulum.
Right, which I've seen those before, but it's been a while. Yeah. I like to revisit those and maybe do a video about Roger Corman, Edgar Allan Poe movies. So like you said, the Wasp one, yeah, it's like, I can see like there's potential with it, but it's like this film has so much potential to be done better in a better film with like how you had this woman who like this scientist like discovers like this serum that supposedly can make people younger.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's an interesting concept, and the tragic result of that was interesting.
Right.
The story kind of dragged a little bit.
It did.
It could have been shorter.
Yeah,
it's a short movie.
Well, it is a short. Well, I will admit, sometimes the dialogue was a little bit of a drag at times. It kind of like was not sucked to it or anything, and I think what's funny is that this movie kind of reminds me of like The Fly to some degree, but in a different way. It has like that Fly value, but in like reverse genders, and also like this movie came out 1 year after The Fly. I think that if this film was on a bigger budget, this woman in this movie could have been like one of the best of like horror/sci-fi movies. And also, I think the look of The Fly is, well, it's definitely a little bit cheesy, the look. They definitely look like they got out of like a $5 like store or something for a costume.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you see her like attack like the victims, you can see like literally the behind of her neck, knowing that it's a costume.
Yeah.
And also, I told you this, the part when she was like something was thrown at her, that was actually real sulfuric acid, and she actually was really like in pain and agonized, and she wasn't acting in that scene.
Yeah. I read that when she was she tore off her makeup, and that part of her skin came off.
And this was her last film at the time.
Yeah.
Because like you said, Susan Cabot was in a lot of like film noir films prior.
Well, actually, I was thinking of somebody else.
Okay.
She wasn't in really film noir movies.
Okay. But I know that she had a career before.
She did. And I think she enjoyed working with Roger Corman.
Right.
And she had a very tragic life.
Yeah. I read that after this film, when she retired from acting, according to her son, he said that she was a recluse most of her life, at the end of her life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she never did interviews or...
Yeah, I read on IMDb that her son shot her and killed her.
Oh, really?
Because...
I did not know that.
Because she was having some type of a psychotic episode.
Right.
And attacked him.
Right.
And he shot her.
Right. Also, would you kind of agree with me how like the Wasp Woman is barely in the movie that much, even though that's the whole point, though?
Right. I know most of it is not with the Wasp Woman.
Right.
I mean that can work, but in this one it really didn't.
No, it didn't. And I remember like when I watched James Rolfe's video, he actually gave a good point about it's not like how in The Wolf Man when he turns to the world he feels bad and guilty. The Wasp Woman doesn't feel that way.
Right.
Yeah. I think I might have said this already before. Sorry if I'm reiterating myself, but when she uses the formula on herself to see if it works and make her look younger, she barely looks any different. She looks the same as...
Yeah, that's true.
Right,
yeah.
But I guess maybe that's the joke, I guess, behind it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, again, he's doing this on a limited budget.
Right.
So he did not have the resources to really make it very convincing. I mean, you know, when you first see her, she's wearing these thick glasses.
Right.
And she's slumped over.
Right, bad posture.
Bad posture, so she's using her, little tricks to try to make her look old.
Right.
And dowdy. And then she basically just straightens out and doesn't wear glasses. And
right.
Here she's a younger woman.
Right. So. Like I said, but she looks the same. That's what's so funny about it.
I know.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, is... when I see her, I think she may have, overdosed on the serum, using it too much.
That's right.
That's what caused. And I'm thinking to myself, I could look at this scene as, metaphor for, drug addiction to some degree.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, she was, when you have something that you're using, medication, it's like, so much is good, but if you use too much, it doesn't mean that it's going to be better for you. And
that's true.
And that's what happened with her. She used too much of it and turned into the Wasp Woman.
Right. Similar how like in The Fly when he teleports, but not little did he know that there was a fly inside of that machine.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I said, it's kind of a film I've enjoyed every now and then to go back to for a B-movie quality every now and then. It's not... Like I said, it's not I guess you could say somewhat guilty pleasure, and I don't know if this is the worst. Well, I still think Plan 9 is the worst thing, but that's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Would you say this is the worst thing you ever saw? Or
No, it's not the worst.
No.
I mean, I think it was well directed. I mean, he you can tell he's still learning the craft, and
right.
He had his cameo there as the doctor.
Yeah.
In the hospital.
Right. His Hitchcock cameo, but I don't think.
Yeah.
Well, Corman's made random acting, especially how he was in Godfather, Silence of the Lambs, and yeah, he's made acting appearances with directors he got started with because that was their way of saying thank you for getting our careers on board.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, not bad for some. Even though this is not a Roger Corman trip, at least I did some research as best as I can of learning about the guy as a person and his films.
Yeah, everybody loved him. I mean, because he was very generous.
Right.
And he took these people under his wing and
right.
he was able to teach them the basics. Not only that, but he taught them how to do the best you can do on a certain budget and in a certain time period.
Right.
So that's when, things get really tough, when there's deadlines that have to be met.
Right.
And you don't have the resources to do it in the most expensive way, then you have to really think about it and use your brain to figure out a way to do it that's convincing but not as expensive.
Right. A made-for-television remake TV show to The Wasp Woman was made in 1995. It had the actress Jennifer Rubin, who you all might recognize from A Nightmare on Elm Street 3. I never saw this movie, so no comment. At least compared to Ed Wood, who only did one take. At least Corman did multiple takes with.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess Ed Wood is still worse than what Roger Corman did.
Yeah. He really.
What?
Yeah, I mean his special effects weren't very special.
That's true. Ed Wood or Corman?
Ed Wood.
Yeah, that's true. In my Ed Wood video, I mentioned how when Lugosi and Bride of the Monster is being attacked by an octopus, you can just tell it's not even moving because they didn't have the props of to control the octopus.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, or the flying saucer on the fishing line.
Right. Yeah, and Plan 9. It's.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess that's everything we summed up with The Wasp Woman. Rest in peace, Roger Corman, and thank you for giving us such legends. You will be missed.
Yes, he definitely will be missed.
All right. See you next time. Say bye.
Bye-bye.